Hey, welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Teams versus SharePoint versus OneDrive, three products you've definitely heard of, but might be understandably a bit uh, wary on how to choose the right one. So we're going to hopefully clear up some of the confusion and help you know which of these three wonderful products is best for each scenario. Um, so first, maybe we can start to talk a bit about Microsoft Teams. Definitely a ubiquitous tool, especially since around 2019 or so. So, for any sort of project oriented collaboration, conversation within your team, Microsoft Teams is or should be the go to tool for that. It's great for working within your organization with trusted vendors or customers outside of your organization. And it's really built for real time communication and collaboration, kind of bringing several disparate apps into one friendly interface. Tommy, anything else you want to say about Microsoft Teams and sort of where it best slots into the 365 stack?
Yeah, no, great segue there. So, when people ask me, especially about data storage strategies within Microsoft's cloud, I kind of go with a three-tiered system. And how I kind of sum it up is that OneDrive is for you and maybe one other person. It's for your personal files that you can access from anywhere, including not only your laptop and your computer, but from your cell phone, from your Outlook app on your cell phone, Teams as well can access OneDrive, but it's really just for you and maybe one other person to collaborate on a document. Then you have Teams. Like John said, Teams is the collaboration powerhouse that Microsoft has created. Really, for all intended purposes, Teams can be your main hub for pretty much everything within the Microsoft stack. But one of the main features that I see a lot of people using Teams for is for large projects. So a lot of collaboration, working back and forth, maybe across different departments or maybe with external users. And then I'm also seeing more and more organizations using it for departmental information that is for that department's eyes only. And there's a couple benefits for that. Once again, it's really easy to collaborate with. It's really easy to go in, join a chat, pull in that document, work in real time with each other, and then store it securely within Teams, because Teams backend is kind of SharePoint. It actually is SharePoint. Whenever you create a Teams channel, it creates a SharePoint site on the back end with access to only the people that have been giving permissions to that group if you make it into a private group within Teams. Now, this is where SharePoint comes into play. SharePoint is for everybody else, organizationally wide. So, it's for general information, for accounting, HR information, benefits packages, stuff like that, that is going to be shared with the organization or with external users as well. And that's really how these three systems play with each other. Yes, they're technically all in SharePoint, but they all have their best use case scenarios.
Yeah, and it's definitely not a case of either or. Ideally, you'll be using all three because there's areas that all three do excel in. Like for Teams, for example, you might be watching this and thinking, we only use Teams for some Outlook meetings and maybe chat, but you might not know it can be a phone system or a place for interdepartmental collaboration or a place to pin third-party apps like Dynamics or Shifts if you have sort of a frontline workforce. For SharePoint, you might be thinking of the old SharePoint days where it's kind of just a basic intranet site, but you might not know that it's also that backend for Teams document storage that you can link to external sites, embed Power BI reports, and so on. Something that I'll admit I have been confused on in the past is OneDrive, how it meshes the personal and business side of OneDrive. Because I believe at first, when I was first exposed to it, I thought, okay, this is kind of just a competitor for Google Drive or another sort of file sync service. But it sounds like OneDrive is sort of much more than just sort of your own personal backup vault for your documents.
You're right, and most people kind of see it that way. They see it as, okay, this is how I just store my documents. This way,
Mhm.
it's backed up in the cloud. There are added features within, and this is what I love about anything that is stored within the Microsoft data ecosphere, is that the amount of times, especially, and this is going to go across the board, especially back in my IT management days, was I overwrote something, I blew something up, I messed up an Excel file. You know, the nice thing is that each of these solutions have versioning. So even in your personal OneDrive, if you mess up the document, and we've all been there, like, oh, I can't believe I deleted that data. You can always roll it back. There's always versioning involved with OneDrive, which has been, I can totally admit, in my career, has been a lifesaver. Especially when I have to roll something back, or accidentally, and we all done this, especially with the auto save within Office 365 and OneDrive, is that you're using a template, you're borrowing something from a previous, maybe a different document that had maybe client information in it or something like that, and you have to go back and reference, and you realize you overwrote it. You have that ability to, within OneDrive, recover back to a previous version. The other thing is security. Security is a huge aspect, and that information, especially with when you have problems with, say, ransomware. Ransomware is the bane of every IT department's existence, because it's nefarious, it's bad, it drives you nuts, and it's very easily installed on a computer. OneDrive protects you from that. You can always go out to the cloud, recover any of that data that may have been encrypted on your computer. It's not going to be encrypted in OneDrive. You can always roll it back. It's secure, it's safe. And it also gives you an auditing trail for documents that you have shared out with people. Okay, John moved departments. He no longer needs access to this document. Sorry, John, you're getting kicked out of that document. You don't have access to it because I killed the access. So that's another added benefit within OneDrive. And it's accessible on every Microsoft application in the cloud and on your personal devices. So we've all been in that situation where, hey, I need this document, I need it right now. You're picking up the kids, you're at soccer practice, you're on a vacation. It's really, really easy just to go ahead, open up your cell phone, click the share button on that document, and it automatically shares with whoever you put in that field.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking the advantage of using Teams and OneDrive is that if you do need to send an email and attach a document and you're not right there in front of your computer where it's saved in your My Documents or your desktop, if you're doing what you're supposed to and syncing that up with OneDrive, you can just open your Outlook app, attach it, upload it from your OneDrive, attach it to your team site, and you really do have access to your information everywhere. So to kind of sum this up, it's very likely that you're already using one, if not all of these tools already to some extent. But if you're thinking, I know we're really not using this to its full extent, or it's been 5 or 10 years since we really took a look at our Teams or our SharePoint system especially, reach out and let us know. We're happy to help you start from scratch. We're happy to help in and help you do some spring cleaning or fall cleaning as it is now, and help you get your system aligned with our best practices, help you get your data migrated, maybe just do some refresher user training sessions. So don't be afraid to admit you need some help with these tools. We're happy to help you sort through which ones are the best fit for your organization and help you with your Microsoft 365 journey into Teams, SharePoint, and OneDrive. So thanks, Tommy, and thanks everyone for joining us today.
Yes, have a great day.